Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Coming Distractions, brought to you by the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This time we're going to review the newly released film Tomb Raider. Obviously, there's been 2 Tomb Raider films before, starring Angelina Jolie. However, this time, this one is directed by Roar Uthaug and starring Alicia Vikander. Terrence, you saw this movie. I have no idea what you thought of it, so I'm very interested.
Yeah, you made it a point not to ask me until
I was in a box of silence.
Right.
Well, give the premise first, and then your thoughts.
Well, the premise for the movie, she plays Lara Croft. Lara Croft is the main character. She's basically like I can't tell how old she is in this movie. I don't know. She's
20s, I guess.
Early 20s, I guess. She's just kind of a woman just trying to find her way. If anyone knows the actual games themselves, she's filthy rich, but she doesn't want to. In the movie, they start out she doesn't want to take her father's money for whatever. But then she finds her father's work.
Okay.
And he's like a anthropologist, whatever the fuck. What do they call
Archaeologist.
Right. Not necessarily an archaeologist, but he's into like artifacts and shit like that. And that brings her to an island. And shenanigans ensue.
Okay.
Now, the thing about this is, if you've played the remake of, well, not the remake, basically the reboot of the game, you can kind of follow the movie. Which
I loved, by the way.
That's one of my favorite games of last generation of all time, actually. Yeah. Like, I played that game like 5 times over, and there's only one ending to that game.
Wow.
So I've played it so many times. But I really enjoyed that game. And they basically just kind of took that story. They changed a lot, but it's the same story.
Okay. I mean, that story was, it felt like a movie, right. So I'm not surprised.
It was like, yeah, just do that.
Right.
So that's the premise. Now, this is a video game, of course. This is a video game movie. And with that being said, there's a certain really low bar for those movies to hop over to be decent.
Right. Okay.
It hurdles that bar.
Okay, all right.
It does.
I was getting nervous. I was like, oh,
it pole vaults and makes it clear over the bar. It's not bad. It really isn't. It's a decent. It's a solid to decent action movie.
Okay,
acting is good. She's a great actress. I don't know what she's in. I don't know what else she's been in.
She was in Ex Machina, which she plays the robot. She was very good in that.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. I not recognize her. She's very good. There's one thing in the movie that I did not like that they changed.
Okay,
and this is kind of a thing that's a theme throughout the entirety of the whole Tomb Raider series, beginning from '96. I think the series is 22 years old.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. But in those that have played the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't want to give anything away, but then again, it's Tomb Raider.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Acting was good. The story, it's cliche. Like it's an action movie. You've got the villain, you've got the hero, you've got the villain, you've got the
Walton Goggins is the villain. Of course,
I mean, he's Walton Goggins. he's good. Like
he always is.
He's always good. His name is Matthias something. That dude sounds like he's from like Alabama. I don't know how many Matthiases live in Alabama, but okay.
They're like, just play yourself.
Whatever. That's fine. Walton, you're from like Scandinavia. I don't know where you're from. They cut the amount of people out that she's with from the game. It's just like 2 people. It's just her and some Asian dude that she takes his boat to get there. The action sequences are ridiculous.
Yeah, is that a good ridiculous or bad ridiculous?
Yeah, the one in particular is the one that they show in the commercial, which I kind of wish they didn't show, because it's the one ripped straight out of the game with the airplane.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy, like it's insane.
Well, that scene in the game is pretty nuts.
There was some really insane, and they did a mashup of. They basically kind of took maybe 3 or 4 action sequences from the game and mashed them all into that one sequence.
Okay.
Which was kind of cool. Like there's one in the game where she has to basically set herself on fire,
right,
to get out of it.
That's the very first moment of that game.
That's the first moment, and she lands on a spike or whatever. They just mashed everything up. It was a cool sequence, and I'm like, she should be dead, but whatever. She's like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. At this point, at that point, it didn't matter. There was a really cool bike sequence in the beginning.
Okay.
Which before she even makes it to the island. I don't know, man. I enjoyed it. Like, as a video game guy, they did it right. They did it as well as they could have possibly done it.
And this is a low budget. Well, I wouldn't say a low budget, but this is a moderate budget. It's $94 million, which is like
not too bad.
Like it's above low, but it's certainly not in the superhero realm of or like that larger realm of like 150
right
and up.
I mean, the effects were fine. Like, some people are like, oh, the special effects look really terrible. I'm like, no, they really didn't. They looked fine for what they had.
Is the story engaging enough? Because I really like the story of that rebooted game. I thought it was really great.
Well, they have the moments of her first kill, but it's different. They switched it up. That scene was pretty wild.
Okay,
like, they switched up the way that she got her actual first kill, and it was kind of intense. Like, okay, I'm like, all right, go ahead. They, you know how in the games she's got to collect weapons, like she finds weapons. Well, they switch up how she gets the bow and arrow and the pickaxe and everything like that, and it makes sense for the movie.
Okay, that's fair.
So but there's that one thing that I just did not like. I was like, yo, why did you do that? That's okay.
Changing it from the game,
I guess.
Right,
fine.
We'll talk offline about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But overall, I enjoyed it again, because I'm a video game guy, and I was really hoping that this would do really well. And I don't know, Silent Hill was was probably my closest to like really good video game movie. Yeah, because I actually watched that a couple months ago, and it's still really good to me. I personally like it.
Yeah, that seems to be one people dig. I've never seen it because I'm a
This is up there with Silent Hill. Maybe it's probably, I think this actually surpasses Silent Hill as the best video game movie that has ever been made.
Okay, that's fair.
And again, that's a low bar because they're all garbage.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible.
But overall, it's solid, man. If you enjoy the game, I don't see why you wouldn't like this. And there was another little Easter egg that I found really funny. That was on
for gamers.
Yeah, and it's super subtle,
right?
But there's this section on the boat. Well, I say section. It's a scene in the boat on this boat where she's got to climb across this one little area. And I thought it was really funny how they kind of implemented like a video game mechanic into how she did it. Again, I don't want to give it away, but those that have played video games for 30 years, they'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So what's your score out of 5 for this?
2.5, 3.
Okay.
Out of 5. This is like right down the middle. Like, again, I enjoyed it. I'd probably give it. I'll go to 3.
3 out of 5. Okay, that's not bad.
It's a solid.
Does this break the video game curse? You think? Where you could at least get like some decent to great video game movies in the future.
Because it basically just took the game and just did that. Now, the thing about video games is they're interactive, so that you have to throw in, like, most games are like game first, story second.
Right. Where Tomb Raider didn't feel that way.
It was like, no, it was
like 50,
it was a solid story. Kind of like I'll say, if they decide to do an Uncharted movie,
it could be this.
Yeah, do it like this, and it'll be fine.
Okay.
I don't know what actor you'd get, but like,
they're doing Tom Holland. Remember
all right,
which makes no sense, but that's another story altogether. So 3 out of 5. Would you see sequels to this? Yep. Could this be a franchise?
I would definitely see the sequel.
Okay,
I would.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna check it out. I wanted to stay in like a cone of silence because I really wanted to hear your like unfiltered response. So good. That 3 out of 5 is enough for me to go see a Tomb Raider movie, because I certainly saw the other Tomb Raider movies, which were not as good.
Yeah, I only saw them because it was Angelique.
That is absolutely correct. So,
my guy.
Yeah, so it's facts. All right, that is it for us. If you are listening to this on the Coming Distractions podcast feed, thank you. Make sure you give us a 5-star review on iTunes if you're listening through that. However, you can also watch these episodes on YouTube, youtube.com/The Nerdpocalypse. Check those out, and we will see you guys next time.
Take it easy.
Bye. You're watching the Nerdpocalypse YouTube channel. Make sure you click that button to subscribe and check out our weekly podcast where we talk about movie, TV, news, tech, and weird stories from around the internet.